a 10-year-old kid, a genius, a show that only lasted 3 seasons, but the careers that came after, they lasted forever. Did you know one of them walked away with the biggest award in Hollywood? And the other one went on to dominate the music charts with platinum hit after platinum hit. So what really happened to this cast after the cameras stopped rolling? Let's explore the cast of Smart Guy. Number 1, Tahj Mowry. The genius who never faded. Child stars come and go. Most of them fade away before anyone even remembers their name. And then there is that one who hits different and stays with you forever. Tahj Mowry, born on July 17, 1986 in Honolulu, Hawaii. From the very beginning, this kid was different. While other 4-year-olds were running around in diapers, Tahj was already on a TV set delivering lines in front of a camera. 4 years old. Let that sink in. But it was 1997 that changed everything. Smart Guy hit our screens and introduced us to TJ Henderson, a 10-year-old genius, so sharp, so funny, and so real that millions of people across America stopped whatever they were doing just to watch him every single week. He wasn't just playing a genius. He was performing like one. The comedy was effortless. The timing was surgical. And the charisma, nobody taught him that. That was pure God-given talent. But here is what most people never talk about. Behind those cameras, Tahj was still just a kid, a real kid, growing up in Hollywood, under pressure that most adults could never handle. And yet, he never cracked. Never made the headlines for the wrong reasons. In an industry that destroys child stars, Tahj Mowry walked through it untouched. Now here is something that will hit you differently. Tahj once opened up and said that growing up, people always saw him as the little brother of Taya and Tamara, the kid in the shadow of 2 superstars, and for years, that is exactly how Hollywood treated him. But he never complained, never begged for attention. He just worked, quietly, consistently, until the work spoke for itself. And personally, this man has kept life incredibly private. No messy public breakups, no viral scandals, no red flag moments. In a generation where everything ends up on the internet, Tahj somehow managed to protect his peace. And honestly, that is more impressive than any award. Today, Tahj Mowry is 38 years old, still working, still delivering, still proving that the little genius from Smart Guy never needed saving. Oh, and those famous Mowry twins and Tia and Tamara? Yeah, that is his family. Talent doesn't just run in the Mowry bloodline, it absolutely floods it. Child stars come and go. But Tahj Mowry, he came and he stayed. Number 2, Jason Weaver. The voice behind a legend. You knew his face. You knew his voice. But did you ever really know his story? Every show has that one character who makes everything funnier just by walking into the room. On Smart Guy, that character was Marcus Henderson. And the man behind that character? Jason Weaver. Born on July 18, 1979 in Chicago, Illinois. Jason Weaver grew up in a world where music and performance were everything. And from a very young age, it was clear that this kid was not built for an ordinary life. He was built for the stage. But here is the thing about Jason Weaver that most people completely missed. Before Smart Guy, this man was already part of one of the biggest moments in Disney history. You know that little lion cub who sang his heart out in The Lion King in 1994? That voice you heard? That was Jason Weaver. He was the singing voice of young Simba. One of the most iconic animated films ever made. And then came Smart Guy in 1997. And Jason brought Marcus Henderson to life in a way that nobody else could have. Marcus was supposed to be the underachiever. The guy who never realizes himself. The guy living in the shadow of his genius little brother. But Jason made Marcus so lovable, so hilarious, so real, that sometimes you forgot he was even acting. Personally, Jason has always been known as one of the most humble and grounded people in the industry. No drama, no controversies. Just a man who loves his craft and protects his family. Today, Jason Weaver is 46 years old, still acting, still inspiring, and still collecting those Lion King royalties. You knew his face, you knew his voice, but now you know his story. Number 3, Essence Atkins, the sister who owned every room organized, ambitious, always the smartest girl in the room, except when her little brother walked in. Sound familiar? That was Yvette Henderson. And the woman who played her? Essence Atkins. Born on February 7, 1972 in Manhattan, New York, Essence Atkins was destined for the spotlight from day one. And when she landed the role of Yvette Henderson's on Smart Guy, she brought something to that character that the script alone could never give her. After Smart Guy ended, Essence never stopped working. She built one of the most consistent careers of any cast member from the show. Movie after movie, series after series, no scandals, no drama, just pure dedication to her craft. Today, Essence Atkins is 53 years old, still beautiful, still talented, and still proving that the girl played Yvette Henderson was never just a supporting character. She was always the lead of her own story. Number 4, John Marshall Jones, the father who held it all together, born on June 12, 1962 in Cincinnati, Ohio. John Marshall Jones brought something to Smart Guy that is incredibly rare on television: a black father who was present, loving, strong, and funny without even trying. Off-screen, John Marshall Jones has always been one of the most private and respected figures in Hollywood. Today, John Marshall Jones is 63 years old, a legend of his generation. Number 5, Omar Gooding, the friend everyone wanted. Every show needs that one friend. Born on October 19, 1976 in Los Angeles, California, Omar Gooding grew up in one of Hollywood's most famous families. His older brother, Cuba Gooding Jr., Academy Award winner, Oscar on the shelf, Hollywood royalty, and for some people, that kind of shadow would be crushing. But not Omar. He stepped onto Smart Guy and created something completely his own. Today, Omar Gooding is 49 years old, still acting, still bringing that same infectious energy he had back in 1997. Some things, thankfully, never change. Number 6, Taraji P. Henson, the guest star who became a legend. What if I told you? One of the most powerful women in Hollywood today once walked onto the Smart Guy set as a nobody. No fame, no recognition. Just a young girl with a dream and a small guest apostole that most people blinked and missed. Born on September 11, 1970, in Washington, D.C., Taraji P. Henson was struggling, hustling, trying to survive in an industry that wasn't paying attention to her yet. She appeared on Smart Guy in a blink and walked right back off into anonymity. But here is the thing about real talent: it cannot stay hidden forever. Taraji went on to become one of the most celebrated actresses of her generation. Oscar-nominated, Golden Globe winning. Today, Taraji P. Henson is 55 years old. And the guest role that nobody remembers on Smart Guy? That was just the very beginning. Never overlook the quiet ones. Because sometimes, the guest star becomes the legend. And that is the story of the Smart Guy cast. A show that lasted only 3 seasons, but left a mark that has lasted decades. These were not just characters on a screen. These were real people with real stories, struggles, real triumphs. And now you know every single one of them. If this video brought back memories, hit that like button. And if you are new here, subscribe, because we have got a lot more stories like this one coming your way. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and never forget where it all began.